Hi, this is Mark with 30th of July, Tuesday, 10 a.m. UK time. And this week is all about the news, of course. And this morning, we're going to have at some point today the German preliminary CPI, core price inflation. Germany is a big part of the Eurozone, so that's important. Big news of today, of course, is consumer confidence and especially jobs. It's beginning to look as though the government have been massaging the jobs figures, surprise, surprise, and there are clues that things ain't as good as they've been making out. Then, if you're trading the Aussie, don't be in it overnight with the CPI news coming out. So, as ever, we try to tiptoe around the news. We either want to set a trap if price is sufficiently far enough away from our entry, or we wait for the news to come out and then we think about taking the trade. And equally, tomorrow you've got BOJ, so policy rate, monetary statement, all of that. Don't be in the yens, but set the traps. Eurozone in the morning, CPI flash estimates, important again. Big-ish thing tomorrow is jobs related for the US, and then the biggie is the FOMC. And with the FOMC, I am not going to be in any trade unless I'm at least 100 pips in profit, and I am not going to open new trades a few hours before, and I will wait until after it comes out and after the press conference, because often the data comes out is one thing, and then they come out with something different, or Powell says something different in the conference. Then on Thursday, you've got the Swissy, so be careful with the Swissy, but particularly be careful with the pound. Got a new government in the UK. They're saying there's a black hole of a load of money missing, which is BS. But that's going to be very important. The expectation is that finally they're going to cut rates by 1/4%. Let's see if they do. And Bailey speaks afterwards, so not the strongest central banker in my opinion. But anyway, you wait until he's spoken. And then Fridays, we don't trade Fridays at the best of times, but never on NFP Friday because it's just nuts and it's just an opportunity. You are literally taking a stick to a gunfight, so don't do it. So let's look at the charts. So my plan for the week was to try to make the money early on. And as ever, I start by watching the dollar index. Dollar index yesterday tried to break through the 200 EMA. It sat on it at the moment. I did take a pound trade yesterday, and this was from my analysis from 10 days ago. So I've patiently waited for price to get to where I wanted it to come in yesterday. And this was the level on a weekly. We're looking at the big area. We're looking at the area that stands out and jumps out at me for multiple reasons. So that was a clue in there. But what I went for with this one as well, then when you go down to the daily, we had confluence. We've got 50% fib, we've got the whole number. Remember, I need 5 reasons to take a trade. 55 EMA below for the stop. I have a trend line, we're in an uptrend. And yesterday when I took this from a 4-hour. This was a 78 pip move, and the average is only 59. So it had exceeded the average daily range. My initial plan was to have the stop down here, but I watched this one. This was in the middle of the day. It came down and it sat on my chosen area, 128.10, 12. And then the very next candle started to move back up again. So I took it in here. And instead of having the stop at 50 pips, I had it here. Now, my concerns are it has moved now, risk 20. So I've already got 2-to-1 risk reward out of this. My concern is with this, it's just not going anywhere this morning. It's done 22 pips. The average is 59, as we've just seen. It's not really doing a right lot. So what I'm going to do with this one, I'm going to take half of the profit off. Remember, I've already made twice the risk on this one. So I'm going to close half of this now. And then this is how you close half of a position. So you put in here how much you want to close. I want to close half of a lot. And so close that. And then, bearing in mind I am now 47 pips in profit, I am going to move my stop entry. There we go, plus 2 or 3 pips. So if it comes back down, it doesn't show as a loss. Psychologically makes me feel better. And the hope is, of course, it's going to keep going. Now, I also, because I was in that and I have already on my live account moved the stop and taken some profit off, I was able to take the euro this morning. And once again, this is a 4-hour euro USD. You can see how for the last 24 hours, it has bounced repeatedly off the daily 55 EMA, which is why I use these EMAs. It's also 108, which is what we've been looking at forever. And remember, I'd go at least 10 pips above for an entry if we're near a whole number. So on this one now, it has moved 20 pips today so far out of potential 45. I have my stop down here quite a way away. I don't want to lose the profit that I've just banked. So what I'm going to do with this for now, I'm just going to move my stop in here. So I have reduced my risk by about 70% there by the look of it. I daren't move the stop to entry just yet because that would only give it 11 pips breathing space. Well, no, it would only give it at the moment 10 pips breathing space. But as it's held here overnight, then I'm kind of thinking that, I'm going to leave it there. And let's see if this can keep moving. If it starts to drift lower, I may just close it. But those are the two that I am keeping my eye on now that I have already taken. And remember, you're trying to catch them before news. Now, this is the Swissy. I just showed you there's big news with the Swissy on Thursday. I have a stop in here, 70 pips is about the maximum I will go. But potentially, this is a 140 pip drop. But as I've just shown you, be really careful with all this news that's coming out. Now, if it started from here, gets up to there, that would be more than the average range. So it's interesting, but I wouldn't leave it in. AUD, showing you there's news overnight. That's only 50 pips away, not too much more than the average daily range. So I will cancel that. Dollar yen. Now, I've shown you there's the news. I mean, the interest rate in Japan is nonsense anyway. It's at 0.01% or something insane. So I would leave this one in. This is an order I have at 152.36. I'm going to move that a little bit higher now because the 200 EMA is moving up. I may need to adjust that stop a little bit lower, just below that spike. But again, multiple reasons. I showed you through the week. On a pullback, the big area would be all the way down here, 150.50, anywhere in here. But we did have multiple reasons in there as well as. NZD had a good trade on this the other week. Took 180 pips off it. Again, I want to take this now, and I'm going to remember, you need to adjust your entries all the time when the EMAs move down. And here, I have the stop just above a 78.65, the daily trend line, a 55 EMA on a weekly, and then I have a daily 200 and daily 55. Multiple reasons to suspect if this pulls back, this is where it's probably going to stop. And it's one of those you could split the entry and put half here with a much smaller stop. And I think I may do that on my live account. The reason for that is it may come all the way into here and then drop. The reason why I have this one here is it may only get to here. And there's nothing more frustrating than waiting for a move and then it misses by a handful of pips. Now this today has done 35 pips and the average is 40. So as this is currently 170 pips and the other one will be 200 pips away, it's one I may well leave through the news. EURCAD had an order in for weeks here. We took it the other week. This is where we're looking to take it again. At the moment, where are we? If it got up there today, that would be 70 pips. The range at the minute is nuts at 26. I might even leave that one in as well. And I think that's it. Euro Aussie, the area to interest is down here again. And that's it for today. Have a great week, but remember, be very, very careful around the news.